wide the doors, let in the light, bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, let in the light, bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, what this life is about, what this life is about. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light, bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Hello. Oh, good morning, everybody. A little slow. Happy Father's Day. Good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Could I have all the fathers stand, please? Let's just honor all those dads. Just about all our boys. All right. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Parker in beautiful and a little bit windy this morning, Parker, Colorado. I'm Reverend Stephanie Stewart, the spiritual director and minister here. Here at Center for Spiritual Living Parker, we envision a world that is inspired, transformed, and awakened to its spiritual magnificence. And it is our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal and community transformation. We fulfill our mission with this Sunday service by offering classes and workshops, and by being of service to the town of Parker and to the wider world. Excuse me. You can be a direct participant in our mission this month. You can be a direct participant in our mission this month. We are having a month-long pet food drive. It benefits the Colorado Pet Pantry. Colorado Pet Pantry was established in 2013. It is the largest organization of its kind in the U.S. It distributes food at 105 sites in 29 Colorado counties. In 2021, they served 6 million pet meals. 6 million pet meals. They are currently in desperate need. You can see on our table back there, as you come in, the red table back there, what we've collected so far. But they are in desperate need because of supply chain interruptions. So we have one more week that we can bring things in. They take dry dog food and cat food, canned dog and cat food, kitty litter, leashes, collars, and other pet accessories. You can also write a check. If you would rather do that, you can also write a check. You can give that to me, or you can give it to Kenny Johnson. Kenny, will you wave? Thank you. So that's a way you can be involved in our mission this month. So please leave your donations at the table, or talk to Kenny or I after service. Okay, so we have one more week that we can be involved in that. If you are with us for the very first time, a very special welcome to you. If you're willing to raise your hand and be identified, thank you very much. A couple people. We actually have a welcome packet for you. We have a welcome packet for you. That's why I asked you to do that, not so we could all go, look. In that welcome packet is a welcome card. If you would be so kind as to fill out that welcome card, that lets us get to know you a little bit better, and it lets you get our weekly e-newsletter. And that lets you keep up with what is happening here at our very, very busy center. A couple of weeks ago, we went to the Botanical Gardens. We went to Parker Days. For all of you that spent a very hot weekend with me at Parker Days, thank you so very much. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Some of you really suffered with me. I appreciate you very much. It was 3 hot days. We went to Parker Days. We will be going to Pride. We will have a picnic. We're going to the art museum. We're going to the zoo. It's a very busy summer here at CSL Parker. So get that newsletter, that e-newsletter, and find out what's going on here. Joining me today at the podium will be Dr. Vern Martin. Dr. Vern will be offering our woohoo! Dr. Vern will be offering our interfaith candle lighting reading, a spiritual reading, and an invocation. Who's lighting the candles with you today? Jeanette Bennis will be lighting our candles today. And doing our announcements will be... Joe, are you doing our announcements? Joe Albers will be doing our announcements today. So Dr. Vern and Jeanette are both licensed prayer practitioners. Our practitioners can be identified by their white and gold stoles. Will somebody be willing to stand and be identified? Thank you very much. Practitioners have gone through 4 years of training to be able to see the spiritual truth of any situation. I said be identified, not twirl them around and put on a show. So no matter what is happening in your life right now, you can sit with a practitioner and they can see the truth of it for you. So I urge you to find a practitioner after service today, talk with them, ask them to pray with you. So now, it's time for some more great music from our fantastic CSL Parker band, led by the one, the only, Alicia Archibald.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
At the Center for Spiritual Living Parker, we honor all rolling paths to the divine. This candle lighting service highlights 7 of those paths. Our theme for this month is emotions. We light the first candle to honor Christianity. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to be grateful for. We light the second candle to honor Judaism, but feelings cannot be ignored, no matter how unjust or ungrateful they seem. We light the third candle to honor Buddhism. You must be at one with your emotions, because the body always follows the mind. We light the fourth candle to honor Confucianism. Not feeling compassion for a stranger is like not feeling when one's foot has caught fire. We light the fifth candle to honor New Thought. Instead of resisting any emotion, the best way to dispel it is to enter it fully, embrace it, and see through your resistance. We light the sixth candle to honor Hinduism. This world will be a better place if we try to understand the feelings of others. We light the seventh and final candle to honor Sikhism. Sweetness and humility are the essence of virtue and goodness. Thank you, Jeanette. Our reading today is from one of my very best friends, Emerson. A man should learn to detect and watch that gleam of light which flashes across his mind from within, more than the luster of the firmament of bards and sages. Yet he dismisses without notice his thoughts because it is his. In every work of genius, we recognize our own rejected thoughts. They come back to us with a certain alienated majesty. And this is from the chapter on self-reliance.
Good morning, everybody. So I just obviously was gone for a couple of weeks, missed you all, and can't see you over the sign there, but hi. So I was in North Carolina, and for those of you who aren't aware, today's Juneteenth, big celebration, and it's interesting. The song we're going to sing is called "Love Can Build a Bridge" by the Judds, and we're talking all this month about our bodies and healing, and so today's also Father's Day, and I just thought, the most appropriate song that I could do would be "Love Can Build a Bridge," because I just spent 2 weeks on the side of the Mississippi. It's very, very different than this side, and it was difficult to realize that, but we've got a lot of work to do still. We don't see it here. There's still a lot of work to be done on the other side. So I think love is that bridge that's going to get us over the Mississippi. We've got a lot to do, and I encourage you to listen to the words of the song and sing along with me if you'd like. gladly walk across the desert, no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I have to eat. And I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams, and all your hopes are sinking. Let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart would understand. Love and only love can join the tribes of man. And I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. Keep believing in the power. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Sing it with us. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Oh, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? It's definitely time. Don't you think it's time?
It was beautiful, Alicia. Thank you. So good morning. Good morning. So today's talk is called The Body Remembers. The Body Remembers. And I know this all too well. I was a massage therapist for almost 20 years. I saw it almost every day. Our bodies hold trauma. Our bodies hold memories. We hold it generationally. We hold it generationally. Now, what do I mean by that? As Alicia said, in addition to Father's Day, today is Juneteenth. Juneteenth commemorates the emancipation of African Americans from enslavement in America. That is generational trauma. That is generational trauma. And not just for black folks in this country, but for all of us. We all carry those systems of oppression forward into our modern lives, in our biases, in our attitudes, in our unexamined thoughts. And we all deserve liberation from those systems. We all deserve liberation from those systems. Let me tell you some massage stories so that you can understand what I'm talking about here. I had this woman that used to come to me, and she had neck and shoulder pain, neck and shoulder pain, neck and shoulder pain, neck and shoulder pain. We never seemed to get very far with it. And it was getting to the point where I was thinking about sending her to another therapist. I didn't know what kind of therapist to send her to. But it was to the point where I felt like I was just taking her money. So one day she came in to see me, and she was laying on the table on her back, and I just had my hands underneath her on the problem area. It was right here where the neck meets the body. And she was just settling in. I just had my hands laying there underneath her. And we were just chatting a little bit. And all of a sudden she said, I just had the weirdest memory, an old memory pop up. And she had run track in high school. This was a woman in her late 50s, so we're talking about a 40-plus-year-old memory. She had run track in high school, and it was a track practice. She was on the track running, and she got hit right there by a discus. Now, I knew that the body remembers. I knew that the body remembers. And I said, I want you to stop, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to really think. What are some other times you've been struck in that area? What are other times you've been hit there? And it took her a little bit, but suddenly there was this flood of stories, one after another. A closet rod had collapsed and had fallen on her. An ex-boyfriend had thrown something at her. She walked out on him for the last time. A bird feeder fell on her. And that area started to tingle in my hands, and I felt it actually relaxing in my hands in a way that it had never had before. And I knew what kind of therapist to send her to all of a sudden. I knew I wasn't the therapist for her anymore, but I knew who to send her to. And she healed. She healed. And she came back to me later and she said, it still gets tight sometimes, but I have this visualization that the new therapist gave me, and I can help it relax. She had come to understand that it was repeated trauma. In her case, it was a physical trauma that was causing her pain. Our bodies remember, and they hold on to those kinds of things. Our bodies remember, and they hold on to things. Now let me tell you about Jamie. I was once told as a new massage therapist that, metaphysically speaking, the left side of our bodies is the female side of the body, and the right side of the body is the male side of the body. Now, I didn't know how I felt about that. That was a little bit woo-woo for me. Okay, I wasn't real sure about how I felt about that until I met Jamie. Jamie was transgender. He transitioned from female to male, and he also had an awful relationship with his incredibly overbearing and manipulative mother. And I know his mother was overbearing and manipulative because she actually became a client of mine. And I eventually realized she became a client of mine because she wanted to find things out about Jamie. In 18 and a half years, she was one of only 2 people that I actually legally excused from my practice. I sent her a letter and said, you cannot come back because of your behavior. Can you guess? All of Jamie's issues were on one side of the body. Can you guess which side? The left side. The left side. The female side. Now, as a massage therapist certified by the Ohio State Medical Board, trained in kinesiology and mechanisms of injury, this made no sense whatsoever. None. No sense whatsoever to me. If your left ankle hurts you, you overcompensate with your right side, and by rights, your right knee should hurt you next. But no, not with Jamie. It was all left side. Left ankle hurt, left knee hurt. Left hip hurt. Left side of the back hurt. He once called me to cancel his appointment because he had pink eye. Left eye. So we talked about that. I even ventured to tell him about the whole left side, right side woo-woo thing. And he didn't walk out. But we mostly talked about boundaries with Mom. And I suggested therapy, which I'm very happy to report Jamie said yes to. Did all of his left side pain clear? No. No. But a lot of it did. Much to my surprise. Much to the surprise of my analytical medical mind at that time. Jamie took on the job of healing himself. He took on the job of healing himself. Our bodies are amazing things. They only know what our thoughts tell them. Even when we aren't conscious of what our thoughts are, our bodies remember. Our bodies react. So think about it. To release a generational trauma is not just to release it for ourselves, but for future generations in our family as well. Jamie's children won't necessarily carry generational trauma of his mother if he works through it all and releases it all. It's a lot of work and it's a big responsibility, but we all deserve liberation. Our bodies are a perfect example of the creative power of the mind. Whether it is our individual minds or the collective societal mind or the one mind of God. The body just does what it's told. It just manifests what it's given. It's kind of like the law in that way. There are countless stories of mind-body healing out there. You may have even experienced it for yourself. It's a wonderful connection to remember and know that we can always manipulate. Our bodies are always listening to our minds. We have to be careful with the instructions we give our bodies. We have to be careful. If we try to ignore things or push them down or gloss them over with spiritual bypass, those wounds will fester. And you'll end up on a massage therapy table like mine. Or worse, you'll end up at the doctor's office. When we bypass our trauma, we're telling our bodies that we can't have freedom. It can't have freedom. And that is not our divine birthright. We were all put here to be free in every way imaginable. I understand it's uncomfortable sometimes. They're not called thinkings, they're called feelings. We have to feel them. But I looked, and I didn't find any stories where anyone died from feeling their feelings. Now, repressing them, maybe, but not from feeling them. We have to learn to be present to what is. We have to learn to be present. to what is. As difficult as that can be, sometimes we have to learn to be present to what is. Process it, work through it, let it go. As many times as necessary. I'm sure Jamie and my other client are still processing their respective traumas. That's a healthy way to live. Being present to what is an honest way to live. We aren't fooling ourselves into thinking people or situations are some way that they actually aren't. Lies and trauma don't get bogged down in our bodies that way. We don't tell ourselves stories that clog up our bodies. Being present to what is also a difficult way to live because so few people do it. To be present to what is an honest way to live that can be really uncomfortable. If not for yourself, then for others. A case in point. It's Father's Day. I'm going to talk about my dad. Last fall when my dad got sick, I didn't go back to Ohio. I had a very complete relationship with my father. I was very intentional with my relationship with my dad. I had to do that as an adult. I said I love you to him. I told him I thought he was a good dad. I told him I was glad he was my dad whenever I was with him. So when he got sick, all of my other siblings, the other 5, I'm the oldest of 6, they all rushed to his bedside. And they said, "Aren't you coming?" And I said, "No." And that was hard for them. They kept saying, "Why aren't you coming?" And I said, "Because I don't need to. Dad knows. Dad knows. Dad knows I love him. He knows I think he was a good dad, and that I'm glad he was my dad." And he didn't linger when it was his time to go. He didn't wait for me. It was very hard for them. I was present to the truth of the situation. I knew he was going to die, and I knew that my relationship with him was complete. And as a result, I didn't get sick. You know, a lot of times people around grief, they get a cold or they get the flu or whatever's going around, they get it. I didn't get sick with grief. I didn't get sick with heartache. I was clear. Do I miss him? Of course I do. Do I grieve? Of course I do. But it's not a trauma I physically hold. There's nothing to heal from. I was present to what was. Now, 2 weeks ago, I pointed out that our bodies are divine conduits for the flow of Source, the flow of God to come into this world. If we're gummed up with trauma, whether our own or generational, we make it hard for God to be here. We make it hard for God to come into this world. If we think about today being Juneteenth, and we think about a generational trauma like racism, how am I letting God come into this world through me if I'm not examining my personal biases and working to understand them and clear them out? I'm not. I'm blocking the flow of the divine. And we all lose out as a result. We all lose out as a result of that. We owe it to each other to heal ourselves. We owe it to each other to heal ourselves. We owe it to God. We owe it to Spirit. Whatever you want to call it, we owe it to that divine source. We owe it to each other and to the divine to heal ourselves. Without the healing of our personal and generational traumas, God remains in the background. We're all just running around on human power, and that's not good enough. Not when we have access to the divine. We are the only way Spirit shows up in this world. Each and every one of us, we are the only way Spirit shows up in this world. If we aren't taking signals from our bodies with their perfect memories and working to heal our traumas, then Spirit doesn't get here. And we all miss out because of it. We all miss out because of it. I can only give you the first step to healing, and that's honesty. Honesty. We have to be honest with ourselves. Honesty leads to clear seeing, too. Often when we admit we have something that needs healing, our bodies are telling us something needs healing. We can see at least where it might be coming from. Childhood, something physical, generational, whatever it is. And here's what I love best about healing. It can rarely, if ever, be done alone. It can rarely, if ever, be done alone. When we listen to our bodies and make the choice to step into the healing process, it almost always takes another human being. Do you know what that means? That means God is involved. Spirit moving through another is helping to facilitate our healing. The divine is blissfully inescapable. Go live in a cave, and the divine will come visit you as a beautiful sunrise. It is blissfully inescapable. We owe it to each other to heal. We owe it to each other to heal. We owe it to the divine. Our healed selves are conduits for God to come into this world to help others to heal. And our bodies point the way. Our bodies point the way. They have perfect memories. They never forget. They're like little elephants or something. We sometimes need help deciphering the messages, right? We sometimes need help deciphering the messages. But it's always worth diving into. It's always worth diving into. There's nothing but healing and freedom on the other side of it. And make no mistake, we are all meant to be free. We are all meant to be free. We are meant to be free from our pain, whether physical or psychological. We are meant to be free from our trauma, whether personal or generational. We are meant to be free. God wants nothing less for us. Spirit wants nothing less for us. It is the only way Spirit comes into this world through each of us. Do not fear what hurts. It can be healed. The body can point the way. We are all worth it. We are all worth it. Hear that. We are all worth it. Will you pray with me? So here now in this place, this time, this moment, I recognize, embrace, I rejoice that God is. That the Holy One simply is present. Here and now in this moment. There is no place else it can be because God is all there is. Spirit is all there is. The Goddess is all there is. The Holy One is all there is. And I am a divine conduit for that. We are each a divine conduit for that. The Holy One. And I rejoice in that. We are a place that God shows up in this world. We are a divine light in this world. We are a place of joy and love and happiness. I say yes to us, and yes to all that we are. So what I know now for this congregation is perfect health. I know that we say yes to our healing. I know that we say yes to our healing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, generationally. I know that we say yes to ourselves. Say yes to ourselves as divine conduits for the flow of source, the divine source, the one that is everything. We are the light of the world, come into being in this world. We have such immense heart, this congregation, this community. And we go out into the town of Parker and into the greater communities. And we spread our love, spread our light, so that all may come to know who we are, that we are one with God. And I say yes to that. I say yes to all that we are. I say yes to all that we are becoming. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. I stand here before you in deepest, deepest gratitude. I stand before this congregation of love in deepest gratitude. And so I release this now. I let it go, knowing that it is already in motion. It is already happening. It is already so. I let it go and I let it be. And seal it with me by saying, and so it is.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Let's sing that together. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Oh, so it's now time for our offering. actually. Please know that your gifts and offerings are used responsibly as we fulfill our mission of providing spiritual tools for personal and community transformation. Your money changes the community of Parker, and it changes the world. Money is God in action. There are many ways to do good works, and your giving is one of those ways. Excuse me. So please take your gift into your hand, or if you give electronically as I do, please take your gift into your heart and affirm with me. I give this gift for you. I give this gift for me. Together we are community. Together we prosper. And so it is.
I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. When I give, I shall receive. What I invest comes back to me. And I feel the faith so I can share. And I see abundance everywhere. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. Oh, reciprocate in gratitude. I have a universal revenue. Oh, my heart is open wide, knowing God always provides. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be. I am wealthy, I am free, I'm abundant like God wants me to be.
Thank you, Kathleen, for your service today. And thank you, Felina, for your service today as well. So I just bless these gifts and offerings, knowing that those who give now are a little more open to receive, and that these gifts and offerings go out into the world and do great things. And so it is. Let's bring Joe up for some announcements.
Are we all alive? I hope, right? I did catch somebody napping in the back, though. It was me. I was in a daze back there. I'm listening to this and I'm going, where am I? You know? I think I left this place. No, really. That took me deep. Can't hear me? I want one of those. My left side? I was listening. I was listening. I was listening, dear. Okay. So here are our announcements for today. Happy Father's Day to everybody. And I was talking to Dorothy and Clyde, and do you know how many people these two are responsible for in this world? It's up there in the 30, 40, 50, somewhere. Lots. When you think about all the people in the world, think how it started from the very beginning, right? And how this has grown to this amazing community we have. So it's a lot more than what's just present here at this moment. But anyway, so right now, guided meditations here begin at 9:30 from our CSL practitioners. Thank you guys so much. We know how long it took you to do all the work you did to get to this place. The theme for next Sunday is the one body that will be delivered by Reverend Stephanie. And this will be our last one about the body for this month. The youth ministry program continues to go. Bring the kids. Dan brought some kids here, older kids, right? Thank you. And then we have a new offering that's called the Metaphysical Supper Club that Wayne had talked about last time. And that's something that we can sign up for as well, too. I think Wayne would be a good person to go to for that one. Reverend Stephanie has her blog post on the Body Divine for this month. She can do pastoral counseling and also create rituals for your life. In addition, Dr. Vern has this week starting his classes, Thriving Through Uncertainty by the book of the same name by Thomas Keeves. And it begins on Wednesdays and Thursdays, June 22nd and June 23rd at 10 a.m. on Zoom and runs for 6 weeks. The offering is $105. However, if you have not taken one of the classes before, you can take there's a $50 coupon that Carolyn Richardson has put together that was so wonderful. Thank you, Carolyn, for that. And get half off. So great deal. And I want to thank, I wasn't here last week, but I want to thank Jeanette because she did a tremendous amount of work to cool this place down today. And we don't know how many phone calls she made, excuse me, and how many things she had to do to make that happen. And she never asked to take any credit for it or anything. She just did it. So look at her. She's going, okay, yay for Jeanette. And we have the Parker Arts Summer Concerts at Discovery Park that's going on right now. Every Thursday, July 28th, it begins at 6:30 p.m. and runs to 8 p.m. Bring your blankets, your chairs, whatever. And again, the important part is that CSL Parker is supporting this, all right? We're contributing to making this happen. The Denver Zoo outing is coming up, and it's on July 9th at 10 a.m. with Reverend Stephanie, and they will meet at the main gate on Steel Street. Tickets do need to be purchased in advance, and I know that the Denver Botanical Gardens was a big success, so it's a fun thing. Just don't get lost near the monkey cages. I won't go any farther with that one. Okay. Remember thank you for Renee and what she does, putting this on Zoom, which is, I know she's so humble and she hates when I do this, so sorry. Not really, but okay. And I think about that last week, I wasn't here. My daughter and my grandson were in town and needed to spend some time with them. But I missed this place, I really did. And I'm so grateful for this community and all the work that everybody's done, because we are family, and family is dysfunctional as it can be. Sorry, you're stuck with us. Nobody else is offering to take announcements or anything else like that, so you're stuck with me too. And you're stuck with this guy, Dr. Vern, over here too, as well. But this is Game Changers, right? And I have 4 daughters. So my daughters, I took care of them when they were young. And it's kind of like this community in a little ways. But as they got older, they became my teachers. All I had to do was listen, right? All I had to do was listen. So I have learned so much from this community, from this kids, and where would we be without this community? It's not about a question of who's right and who's wrong. It's just about showing up. And it's just about saying yes to each other and listening and having love in our hearts for one another. So happy Father's Day to everybody again. And Reverend Stephanie's smiling. That means I'm in her good graces again. So thank you so much.
like you were ever not in my good graces, Joe Albers. So I want to say a special thank you to, I want to make sure I get everything today. I want to say a special thank you to Vicki Ward, Kenny Johnson, and Lisa Campbell. Yes, just sit there and shake your head no at me. For our altar today, our special Father's Day altar today. It's really beautiful and fun and very Father's Day-ish. So thank you, ladies, very much for that. Just accept it. Thank you to Colleen DeVries for, we have a feast. And gosh, Luann and who else helped? Just, there was a bunch of people who helped put this on. We have a feast, okay? For providing refreshments today, but especially Colleen DeVries. No one signed up that I'm aware of for refreshments next week, so we will not have refreshments unless somebody signs up. We have to have folks sign up for refreshments and clean up in order to have them. Okay, so if nobody signs up, we don't have them. That's the deal. So there's a sign up sheet for refreshments and clean up, and it's a dual thing. You have to clean up too, so be aware. That's the easy part. There's sign-ups for the metaphysical dinner thing, and is there a sign-up for the women's? Okay, we haven't done that yet. Okay. So anyway, just thank you to the practitioners, our camera operator Renee Lapine. Thank you to this wonderful band. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, DJ.
Yeah.
Isn't there a song? Thank you, DJ.
I think there's a song
It
about
ends.
a DJ.
Happy Father's Day and happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. So please join me in, please make sure you sit down with a practitioner after service today. Please join me in one more prayer and then let's go eat. We'll have some music and then we'll go eat. We might shuffle toward the food while you're playing. No.
That's fine.
Okay.
As long as you shuffle.
As long as we shuffle. Shuffle rhythmically. Right. Join me in one last prayer and I'll shut up. So I just know right here and right now that we are love. We are love. We are joy. We are CSL Parker. And I am just so grateful. Grateful for all that we are and all that we are becoming. And so it is. Have a great week, everybody.
I want to see some shuffling out there.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. What you got, Dale? This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine. Last big ending here. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. blessed week. Enjoy your Father's Day and your Juneteenth.
There's a reason for the sunshine